Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Va salute and happy Monday. A little blurry-eyed myself right now, but glad you're all here. Hope you guys are starting out your week relatively painlessly. At least I hope so. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, let's just jump right into it, because I see you all filing in here, and I want to greet every single one of you. You guys are just so wonderful. The most wonderful. Sorry, everybody. Let's be honest. I do have a certain bias here. The love of my life, who comes in to call me the love of hers, Netter of Netter's Network. Thank you so much, my dear. She says, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member, gift a membership if you are feeling particularly generous. Help me get us back to the 100 members we had at the end of last year. That would be super, super. Thank you so much. And Enigma Severus says, yay! Yay! Well, I'm glad to see somebody is happy this wonderful, wonderful Monday. Aged Boomer, my regular sidekick, is here to say howdy. And Aged Boomer, did you see my note? We're going to stick with the original plan for this Friday and move that other stream with our guest to next week. And the logic behind it is very sound. I should have guessed it myself as I thought it through, but I just had to check with my guest and make sure my thought process was on the money there. Big Al Presents says, later than usual with my nurse. Hope every liquid luncher is well and ready for a great time. Happy stream, Troy. Thank you so much, Big Al of Big Al Presents. Yeah, I was actually surprised because I had the stream up last night, so I expected there to be like a bunch of people not only comment, but have the comments fall off. I didn't see any of that, so that's okay. No problem. there isn't even a Marvel no prize for being the first in the comments. Let's see here. Okay, sounds good. So we're on track. So I'm not sure why I'm being so oblique. We've already been hyping. Hyping is hyping the right word in this? We've already announced and been talking about the plan for last call this Friday. We're going to be doing another AI update. So yeah, we've got we're getting a ton of AI articles. We even touched on the topic on Geeky Geezers last night with that whole Hollywood freaking out about the fight scene between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Boomer, keep an eye out. Actually, all of you guys, keep an eye out and let me know if you see an article of either one of those two actors responding to that footage. I would be very interested to see what they think of themselves as AI. But we will talk way more about that on well, I mean, we may talk more about it today, but and throughout the week, but we will definitely talk way more about it on Friday. What I wanted to talk about, what I'm musing about, what I've been thinking about, what I've been ruminating on, is well, let me share my screen. Oh yes, Doctor Who last night. That was a lot of fun, which is also why many of us are a little tired today. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so we talked about this last week. But this is interesting. This is an interesting fallout. And I feel like we're going to have continuously more and more articles and more headlines. I am an idiot. I screwed up. I am reaping what I sowed, but I'm going to blame everyone else for my problems. Australian activist claims Billie Eilish got me deported after vowing to protest outside her LA mansion. I mean, you could blame Billie Eilish if you want to. I mean, she's kind of a dumbass who said some dumb stuff that she is dealing with her own blowback on. But you made a decision to here's the funny thing. You have someone who's in the country, not illegally necessarily, but I don't know what the situation is. They're not a citizen of the United States. And you're going to protest in the United States against colonialism? Maybe you should be a citizen first before you start taking a stance on things like that. Just saying. And then don't be shocked when you are arguing against colonialism and then you get deported. Because what is immigration but a form of colonialism? You emigrating to someone else's country. And some people are trying to take over in so doing. But she's only 24 years old. Look, once you hit 21, you're old enough to make all the decisions in life. You can make medical decisions for yourself. You can certainly serve your country, vote, drive, drink alcohol, and do all sorts of things that can set yourself up for success or failure in life. So I'm sorry, I am no longer giving any points to people. Oh, by the way, welcome, David Pensack. I'm sorry, I'm launching right into what you had to say without even greeting you and saying hi. But yeah, no, I am just sick and tired of people not bothering to take the time to think through the consequences of their actions and then saying, but I'm a kid, or but this and but that, and oppression, and screw you. Can't rent a car though. Actually, that's a good point. And the reason for that is also because your insurance rates drop after you hit 25. It may depend on the state. I'm not sure about that. But yes, 25 is the next milestone, because even insurance actuarials are aware that there are differences in behavior based on age and development. Trust the science indeed. And Mark Malnikoff. And by the way, thank you so much for stopping in. Critical Thinking and Drinking. Great channel. Well, channel? Don't know if I'd consider it channel, but anyway, follow Critical Thinking and Drinking on the X, on the former Twitter. Not to be confused with the YouTuber Critical Drinker, who actually is the second person to be called Critical Drinker on X. Critical Thinking and Drinking had the handle first. That's why he's number one. So go check that out. He's got some great content there on the X. He's an X guy. Oh, no, I didn't mean that he was a former guy. I mean, he's a guy on X, right? Kapla, here I are. Actions have consequences. It's called cause and effect. Yeah, again, trust the science, right? Now you're talking common sense. Exactly, which is not as common as it should be. So anyway, let's get into this. God, what a dumbass. What a complete dumbass. Anyway, an Australian activist and online content creator is claiming his attempt to stage a viral protest targeting pop megastar Billie Eilish ended with him detained for more than a day and ultimately deported from the United States. And he's placing the blame squarely, not on his actions, not on our immigration laws, but on Billie Eilish for forcing me to stand outside her house and protest her. Because that's exactly what she wanted, I guess. Anyway. Drew Pavlov, known for his political stunts and online activism, says he was stopped by immigration authorities at Los Angeles' International Airport and publicly announcing plans to camp outside Eilish's California mansion as what he described as a performance art demonstration. Well, congratulations. You can performatively, show how oppressed you are, but at getting thrown out of the country. Billie Eilish reported me to ICE and got me deported because I joke about flying to the U.S. and moving into her mansion, Pebble. I'm sorry, but you joke about coming and doing a home invasion on me? Yeah, I'm going to call the police. I think any rational, sane person would do that. And apparently so would Billie Eilish. She literally said no one is illegal on stolen land, but called ICE on me. Okay, that's a fair point. Using her own words against her. No one is illegal on stolen land, and yet the first thing she does when someone is coming to steal her land, in her mind, is she calls on ICE. That is incredible. You know what? I may just turn my whole opinion around about this article and this Australian performance artist. Kudos to you. You achieved exactly what I believe it was you intended. Billie Eilish reported me to ICE and got me deported because I joked about flying to the U.S. and moving into her mansion. She literally said no one is illegal on stolen land, but called ICE on me. Honestly, amazing performance art. I somehow managed to get Billie Eilish and American liberals to endorse border control and deportations. The pain was worth it for the meme. I take it back. I take it back. I completely misunderstood where this bloke was going with this. Good on you, mate. 100% success. 100% success. The controversy traces back to remarks Eilish made during the acceptance speech at the 2026 Grammy Awards, where she delivered pointed criticism of U.S. immigration. Billie Eilish says, F ICE during her Grammy acceptance speech. Nobody is illegal on stolen land. We need to keep fighting and speaking up. Our voices do matter. So I do want to remind everyone, we talked about the fact that I don't know if it was satirical or a stunt, or if it was intentional, but apparently representatives or people that purporting to be representatives of the tribe, the Native American tribe whose land her mansion happens to currently be on, said they were bringing suit against her for eviction. We're going to evict you from our land because it's stolen land, and you admitted it and publicly, and we can use that in court against you. Now, I don't believe that case would go anywhere, but again, performative art, right? And so she was already receiving that backlash, but this one takes the cake. She literally said, F ICE, and then turns around and calls ICE on somebody because they're going to come and steal her land. This, you cannot make this crap up. These people are that stupid. It's absolutely freaking amazing. The comment quickly circulated online, drawing backlash from critics who accused the pop star of political grandstanding from a position of celebrity privilege. It's true. Pavlov seized on the moment, announcing he would test her rhetoric by camping outside her home. He argued that if no one is illegal on stolen land, he should theoretically be free to occupy the property until formally asked to leave, framing the plan as satire mixed with protest. I like it. I like it. Yeah, now that I understand it, I'm sorry. I take back my... This is what happens when you assume, and I assumed, and I made an ass of myself. But not of you, but just of me, right? And I will admit that. I admit when I'm wrong. Before boarding his flight, Pavlov raised roughly $3,000. I don't know if that's Australian or US dollars, through crowdfunding platforms to finance the trip. He publicly detailed the plans to pitch a tent outside Eilish's mansion gates and remain there until authorities intervened. So this is the thing. He knew that she was going to have to at least call the local police about a trespassing issue, right? He repeatedly insisted the stunt would be lawful and that he had no intention of forcing entry into the home itself. Right. Yeah. In other words, I'm not, going to do something that would be considered dangerous, a physical attack, where you would feel that you were in danger. This is about the whole land occupying thing, pitching a tent on your property, which is trespassing. Let's be clear about that. But I understand the point he's making. He repeatedly insisted the stunt would be lawful. Right. Well, and it's lawful because no one is unlawful on stolen land, right? Everything here is completely and totally legal. I am just going to set up a tent on her driveway. Oh, wow, right, like right on her driveway, so she can't drive in and out. And I will leave when they formally ask me to leave, he said prior to the departure. No human being is illegal on stolen land. Despite those assurances, U.S. Customs officials reportedly took notice of his viral posts before he cleared entry. According to Pavlov, border agents directly questioned him about his online statement and whether he intended to trespass on Eilish's property. They asked me if I planned to trespass on Billie Eilish's property. I said no. I was shitposting. Yeah. He also said authorities asked whether he intended to meet the singer in person, which he denied. Yeah, that doesn't sound like it was actually part of the plan. But certainly get some footage of it if it did happen, right? Ultimately, Pavlov says officials informed him he had entered the country on the wrong visa, cited planned media appearances, including an invitation to appear on a U.S.-based political program, as actively requiring a different entry classification. They didn't ban me from the U.S., but said I have to apply with a different visa next time. If Pavlov's account is even a little bit true, the episode demonstrates the collision between celebrity activism and real-world legal enforcement. Eilish's Grammy speech framed immigration enforcement as morally illegitimate, declaring that no one is illegal on stolen land, while condemning ICE. The only way that Billie Eilish could spin this to make herself look better would be to say, I did not call ICE on him. This is another example of, the whatever evil government and law enforcement, whatever, and imply that he would be welcome to pitch a tent on her property, which would be a very dangerous thing for her to say, because that would result in every homeless person in the area, setting up camp in her backyard and, swimming in her pool. So, but she's got it coming, really. Eilish's Grammy speech framed immigration enforcement as morally illegitimate, declaring that no one is illegal on stolen land, while condemning ICE. Absolutely true. Yeah, and there's her $5.4 million Malibu beachfront home. Yes. Oh, I forgot. This is Florida, not California. Well, even so. Yet when the activists attempted to test that rhetoric in practice, the result was detention, visa scrutiny, and removal from the country. To be clear, there is no verified evidence that Eilish and her legal representation directly intervened in Pavlov's case, despite his claims. Immigration officials reportedly cited visa classification issues as the formal basis for its deportation. I really have some problems with this kind of thing. You didn't fill out the right form. It's a clerical thing that they probably would have paid no attention to if it wasn't brought to their attention. Either by his own, social media account or by someone reporting him. But perception often moves faster than paperwork. For critics, the optics are difficult to ignore. And even if she didn't, I'm going to say this, even if she didn't report him, she's still benefiting from the exact legal enforcement that she decried. Just saying. For critics, the optics are difficult to ignore. Anti-deportation messaging from a multimillionaire celebrity, followed by an activist being barred from entry while attempting to stage a protest, tied directly to those remarks. While Pavlov speculates that Billie Eilish and her legal team flagged his travel plans to federal authorities, there is no public evidence confirming that claim. Immigration officials cited visa issues, not the planned protest, as the reason for his removal. However, Pavlov maintains authorities questioned him extensively about his plans involving the singer and her property. Yes, if that's true, and I have no reason to believe it wouldn't be, at least that wouldn't be true. They knew, whether informed or because they follow this guy on Facebook or whatever his social media is. I find the second a little bit more dubious. They had to have been made aware of it somehow by someone. So just saying, Billie Eilish got me deported from the U.S. I think the legal term the legal team contacted DHS. He wrote in a social media up. And look, you could even say, even if her legal team didn't and nobody made an actual call, he could still say Billie Eilish got me deported, because it was the whole intent around Billie Eilish that was cited in their questioning. Indirectly, she did, whether she intended it or not. In the end, the planned mansion demonstration never materialized. Pavlov never reached Glendale. Malibu is in California. What am I talking about? I'm an idiot. Okay. Never set up his tent, never came face to face with the pop star. And again, I don't think there was any stated intent he intended to have a face to face confrontation with her. What began as an internet stunt designed to mock celebrity activism quickly escalated into real-world legal situation, while with tangible consequences. The planned protest never happened. The mansion demonstration never materialized, and the activists at the center of the spectacle never made it past the airport. Instead, the episode now lives online, less as a protest and more as a case study in how viral rhetoric, political theater, and immigration law can collide in ways neither side fully appreciates. So there you go. What are you guys saying here about all this? Actually, you know what? We're at that midpoint. Give me 4 minutes. Let me let you know what we've got coming up for the week, and then we'll come back to your comments. Okay, be right back. I'm going to refill my drink. Where are my promos? There they are.
You are watching Last Call, streaming every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Come on in, pull up a chair, and have a drink with us. Every Monday night is Members Night at the movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week, the members will be watching the film that was just edged out of first place by one vote last week. A famous rock star falls in love with a psychologist who has never heard of him. It's Rick Springfield in his sizzling motion picture debut, Hard to Hold. Members, please join us Monday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks. This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, the small northwest town of Twin Peaks, Washington is shaken when the body of the homecoming queen, Laura Palmer, is discovered washed up on a riverbank, wrapped in plastic. It's the pilot episode to the show the superfans analyze every week. Join us for a rewatch of the premiere episode of Twin Peaks. A link to the live off-platform stream of the feature will be provided in the chat, and the conversation will be here on Deleted Scenes YouTube channel and affiliates this Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern.
The headmaster of a prestigious prep school calls on Holmes for help in investigating the disappearance of the only son of his patron, a rich and powerful duke who seems more worried about staying out of the public eye than finding his 10-year-old heir. After he reluctantly agrees to allow Holmes to take on the case, the great detective investigates not only the missing boy, but a German teacher that have mysteriously vanished also. Can Holmes locate the individuals missing from the Priory School? We'll find out this Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Last Call Presents.
Hello, while you're here, please visit our merch store where you can get cute t-shirts just like this, link in the description below, or use this QR code on your mobile device. Hope you find something you like.
This week, on Saturday Night at the Movies. After stealing a mysterious orb in the far reaches of space, Peter Quill becomes the main target of a manhunt led by Ronan the Accuser. To fight Ronan and save the galaxy, Quill creates a team of space heroes to save the galaxy, calling themselves, surprisingly, the Guardians of the Galaxy. This Saturday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Netter's Network Retro Cinema.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Last Call presents Doctor Who. The Doctor and Susan supply Marco Polo with water condensed inside the TARDIS, saving the group from dying of thirst. When the caravan reunite with Tegana, the travellers begin to suspect something. Then the TARDIS crew manage to rescue Barbara from the Mongols, but Marco remains unaware of Tegana's involvement. It's part 2 of the reconstruction of the Marco Polo missing episodes, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern.
Did you top off your glasses? We now return to Last Call.
I just realized I had the Last Call bumpers in there instead of Liquid Lunch. Well, technically, this is still Last Call, right? I mean, it is the name of the channel after all. Anyway, yeah, I'm sick of hearing the phrase "stolen land" myself. It always comes down to hypocrisy because you're literally living in this land on what you're calling stolen land. I mean, this whole Billie Eilish thing underscores the hypocrisy of it. So are you planning to give up the land that you live on, give it back to the people it was stolen from? If not, well, I paid for this multi-million-dollar mansion. Yes, what happens when you purchase a stolen property? What happens? It gets taken away from you, and you are not compensated for it. Think it through. If you're capable, if you have enough brain cells, think through the rationale of what you're saying. No, all she can see is, let me get some rah-rah points, while I'm giving my speech. Did you see the Native American slap contest with Billie Eilish? If not, make sure to see it. I laughed my ass off. I had to step away for a sec. Sorry if you mentioned it already. I was unaware of it, so no, I did not mention it. I will check it out after the stream for sure. Notice there are no conservatives making a full uproar over the situation with the guy getting sent away, even when he would be in our right to do so. It was a joke. Yeah, exactly. I misunderstood that he was even a conservative commentator that was getting nailed. I thought this was lib on lib conflict. It's even funnier when I realize he was trying to show her hypocrisy and succeeded spectacularly. That's some good stuff. But yes, as somebody who does agree with our immigration policy, I do agree that you don't necessarily have a right to be here in this country, and coming here with the express purpose and intent of some sort of a protest in and of itself is enough reason for that privilege of visiting here to be revoked. Just keep in mind, if you are not a citizen, you have no claim to staying here. You are here as a guest, and that guest status can be removed for any reason or no reason. This is more like them eating their own. It would have been if this was, in fact, a liberal who was serious about this. They are that stupid. Yes, they are. Yeah, I thought it as I said it, Big Al. Pitch a tent. Yeah, she's not that attractive. I'm sorry, Big Al. I know you like Billie Eilish, but she's just not that attractive. She would not cause me to pitch a tent. I wouldn't put in the effort. I remember no trespassing signs in rural areas Forgetting about the dog. Beware of owner. Yeah, trespassing is illegal. That's true. Sometimes mistakes happen, right? If you don't have your property properly designated, if you don't have up a fence, for example, or a wall, you might not know that you have crossed into private property. So one should keep that in mind. Someone might not be trespassing intentionally. But trespassing is trespassing. That is true. As my grandfather used to say, she's talking out of both sides of her mouth. Yeah, well, I would argue these days they're speaking out of both sides of their bodies. Two different orifices entirely. I added you on X to the video link. Okay, yeah, I'll see it as soon as I'm done. Speaking of which, I was just saying about how critical thinking and drinking is a wonderful X personality. Ironically, the one day that the platform decides to break its connection, and I am not currently multi-streaming to X. I've got a big exclamation point saying that the connection was lost to X. I'm like, thanks a lot, X or EVMux. I'm not sure which it is, either and or both. And hail to you, Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, and Fluff Chick Productions. Thank you so much for being here, Connie. Let's hope they are this diligent when bad guys try to enter the country. I know, right? I wish. I wish. Lurking and working, smashing the like button. Thank you so much. Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel. And Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. Oh, good to see you, Charlotte. So glad you're here. Billie Eilish got the backlash she deserved. Absolutely true. Okay, I do have another one that I wanted to get to. So let me bring that up. Oh, wait a minute. One time, while chasing a steam train, we unintentionally were on a farmer's field by the tracks. A very large man, still the type you see in horror films, comes out of a farmhouse with something in his... probably something in his hand. I'm going to assume it was probably a shotgun. You go ahead and type. I was hoping we'd make it through a week without an in remembrance, but Robert Duvall, definitely be honoring him on Sunday on Geeky Geezers in remembrance for sure. Something in his hand. Fortunately, it was a camera. He wanted photos of the train. Nothing had happened. We were like, good. That's a shame. That is a shame. Was a legend. Absolutely. We'll talk about some of his movies. He was definitely a star, but also he sometimes filled that role of the character actor, right? So he's not the face that you see and don't recognize. What you do is you see him in a supporting role and you go, hey, that's Robert Duvall, you know? So, yeah, we'll talk about him. This is the first I'm hearing about it. So, darn. Okay, let me go back to the shared screen. Where is my shared screen? There it is. So media frustration boils over as Hollywood actors refuse to answer questions on politics. See, this is the other side of that. There are some people that are realizing, yeah, you know, we probably should have listened to Ricky Gervais and shut the F up. You know, just accept our award and shut up. Because we really don't have the ground to stand on. We didn't understand it when we were just told this. We had to learn the hard way by seeing Billie Eilish's example. So yeah. So let's get to this one, and then we'll start winding it down for this. Oops. Again, want to shout out Marvin Montanaro. This is his article. He's a great writer, and I do hope that I get to see him again at, I got to go back. And I hope I get to see him again at MegaCon this year. That's Kevin James. Kind of looked like me there for a second. For years, the relationship between Hollywood actors and politicians have been treated by the entertainment media as a foregone conclusion. Red carpets weren't just for movie promotions. They were ideological activist battlegrounds. Junkets doubled as policy forums. It's funny. They were ideological activist battlegrounds. Battleground implies that there's another side there. And everyone on the other side tended to keep quiet. It was all one-sided. Let's be very clear there. The one side hugely outweighed the other, and the other just kept quiet. But something is shifting. And judging by the reaction out of the Berlin Film Festival, the Hollywood press isn't taking it well. Recent coverage surrounding the Berlinale, actually, that sounds like a good drink, a Berlin ale, has fixated not on films, performance, or premieres, but what celebrities aren't saying. Yeah, that's been the other thing. You have the entertainment majority, doing their virtue signaling. And then if you are one of the silent ones, what's wrong with you? You're one of them, aren't you? You better say something. You better speak up. You better be on the right side of history. Come on, say something, right? Come on. We want you to fight back so we can beat on you. Like a typical bully, And then as they say, this person is a conservative because he won't speak out against, the pronouns or the this or the that or the whatever. It's the rhetorical equivalent of why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Political silence, or at least restraint, has become the story itself. Stars like Wim Wenders, whoever that is, Michelle Yeoh, Kevin James, and Neil Patrick Harris have all come under scrutiny. Why? Scrutiny for not saying anything? For declining to offer sweeping geopolitical commentary while promoting their work. In other words, they showed up to talk about movies, and that apparently is now controversial. Yeah. Imagine that. I'm here to promote a movie and get an award and, talk about what I've got coming up, and you want to talk about politics. Sorry, I have no comment on that. I did not come prepared to talk about that. And imagine even just saying I was not prepared, right? The idea that these people would prepare to talk about something, maybe do a little reading and research so they know what it is they're protesting and why. Yeah. The Star Trek actors can all just go shove their heads up their asses. I really, really don't care. There's a clip from the early 70s where a reporter asked, yes, Elvis, political Vietnam question. He says that he's simply an entertainer. As the first superstar to do so, much wrong. He got this on so right. As the first superstar to do so much wrong, he got this on so right. And by modern standards, he did nothing particularly wrong. Back in the day, some of the stuff he did was a little bit scandalous. Nowadays, that's child's play. Nothing, Good news, you're live on X. Okay, yeah, now that you say that, the exclamation went away, which means it was probably an interrupted stream. So only a portion of it went out. I don't know, man. I don't know how it works. The connections between these platforms really needs to get in place. The infrastructure has not coalesced yet for the streaming market. The streaming market is very much taking over market shares, but the infrastructure isn't there to support it yet. It's very, very clear. Yeah, if you the Marxist narrative, you're absolutely right about that. Neil Patrick Harris has been their crown jewel for alternative lifestyle success, even though his family is pretty screwed up. They still think he's a voice and that we care. But yeah, obviously he's starting to pull back a bit. Drugs is what I'm referring to with Elvis, uppers and downers. He was high as a kite with Nixon doing karate, but today's standards, yes, he was a saint. Well, and again, there's a difference between the cocaine and heroin addicts and the people smoking doobies and all that kind of stuff, and somebody who finds himself in the uppers and downers to get up and get it, all prescribed by a doctor, right? I mean, it's the parallel to Michael Jackson is just scary, almost wonder if Michael Jackson was looking to emulate Elvis as much as possible. I mean, he married his daughter, for crying out loud. But this idea that you need something to pep you up and then you can't fall asleep at night, so you got to take some downers, and it's being prescribed by a doctor. By the same token, Prince died from overdose of painkillers. Well, that's because when you are living with chronic pain and they keep prescribing you opiates instead of finding a way to address the cause of the pain and find better options, well, I'm sorry, this is more of a problem of the pharmaceutical industry than it is illicit drugs. Um, it's a shame. It is a failing, and I am saying that these people do have to take responsibility for their actions, but we've got to temper that with putting at least some of the blame on the doctors that and the doctors specifically that you could point to and say they're responsible for killing them. You could also say that it's the medical industry in general. The fact that none of this has changed since the 70s, that we lost Elvis back in the 70s, and then we lost Michael Jackson, and then we lost Prince, and how many others have we lost because of doctors being irresponsible in their treatment of these celebrities? It's amazing. Yeah, Kate Mulgrew, who forgot that she's not her character and doesn't know her character well enough to know her character wouldn't agree with her. Just saying. That is probably getting a little off topic. I could go on a whole screed about the Star Trek stars and the stupid shit that they've said. If there was any doubt about how international this ship has become, the Berlin Film Festival provided multiple real-time examples of celebrities drawing clear boundaries when political questions surfaced. Comedian Kevin James, speaking in a separate promotional interview, explained why he has long avoided weighing in on political discourse altogether. There are experts who know much more than I do. I'm just focusing on what I can do, delivering a fun, heartfelt break from the craziness of the world. Everybody carries themselves around all day long with a lot of stress. Yeah, in other words, I'm just here to be a comedian and to entertain you. Just like we've all been saying, shut up and perform, trained monkey. And now he is. Like Dr. House said, it's the practice of medicine that will kill that will kill somebody, and it happens very, very often. And I am glad that we currently have a health services head who is starting to address some of the real problems in the medical industry and the government's oversight of it. Politically, for me to speak on it, there are experts who know much more than I do, James said. I just read that. Rather than positioning himself as a political voice, James framed entertainment as relief, an escape valve for audiences looking to disconnect from constant ideological conflict, which is what we've been saying all along. Also, new evidence is showing Jackson was trying to save children from a lifestyle that powerful people tried to enslave. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that we're finding, that not only are we finding some very, very bad players revolving around the island boy, but realizing that there were some people that were trying to work against it and being painted as the offender, right? Confession through projection. I would look back now and see every person, every official person, every government agent, every enforcement officer, every celebrity who cast aspersions at Michael Jackson and say, it sounds a lot like confession through projection. Check their laptops, but yeah. I think we live in a strangely algorithmic and divided world right now. And so as artists, I'm always interested in doing things that are apolitical. This is Neil Patrick Harris. I'm sorry, I skipped over a part. Because we're all as humans wanting to connect in some way. Well, I'm glad you're realizing that, considering how divisive you were playing on the fake Doctor Who parody. Good to know. Michelle Yeoh, also who was seemed to be trying to tank her long and illustrious career by appearing in Kurtzman Trek. Thankfully, she's gotten away from that after having been burned. Also declined invitations to weigh in on American politics when pressed by reporters, citing both distance and perspective. I don't think I am in a position to really talk about the political situation in the U.S., and also I cannot presume to say I understand how it is, Yeoh explained. So best not to talk about something I don't know about. And you know what? You have to freaking respect that. I don't want to talk about something I am uninformed about. That requires wisdom in and of itself. I know enough to know. I don't know enough to talk about this topic. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Taken together, the responses paint a consistent picture, not of celebrities afraid to speak, but of performers increasingly choosing when, where, and whether political commentary fits within the professional role at all. Look, if you appear in a movie that's particularly political and you're going to make political points related to that movie, it's kind of part of promoting that movie, and you should really be thinking about whether or not you want to be in that movie in this current climate, but just saying. But anyway, you guys can go check this out on that Park Place yourself. We're not quite done with it, but you might want to see how the rest of it goes. I want to very, very quickly get to as many of your continued comments as I can. How soon they forget about Anna Nicole Smith and her prescription drug problem. Yeah, exactly. And then look at all the people that are in the entertainment industry that are, screwing up their bodies with things like Ozempic and stuff like that. These are all safe and effective drugs, that are being prescribed by doctors. Just saying. Also, new evidence is showing. I had commented on that, and now we know why Jackson would hide his kids' faces. Had nothing to do with us, but most likely keeping his kids away from specific groups. Well, and interestingly, completely unrelated to that, people have been a bit critical of celebrities these days with making their kids public. And although there are some celebrities who have really kept their children out of the public eye, maybe not covering them with a sheet or something like that, but just go inside. There's cameras. Let's get you out of this, which is unfortunate, but it's what you have to do to protect your kids. You also got to be careful, even if you're not a celebrity, but posting your children and your children's pictures and whatnot on social media. I mean, we need to be stranger danger aware. We always have, and it's even more true today than it was back when we were kids. So anyway, these are some of the things that I'm thinking about today. These are Monday musings. This kind of thought process kind of gets the juices flowing because we start out logy on a Monday. Members, join me tonight for Hard to Hold. I'm betting many of you have not seen it. And I'd like you to check it out. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, Friday, during the soundtrack chat on Last Call. And I think you're going to enjoy. If you don't enjoy the movie, you'll certainly enjoy the soundtrack. But it's not that bad a movie. It's light fare. It's pretty good. And it used to be a cable mainstay. And then, of course, we've got the big lineup tomorrow. So, guys, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me and sharing your lunchtime with me. You guys should all get back to whatever it is you're working on today, because I have to do the same thing. Take care of yourselves. Be healthy. Stay hydrated. Drink responsibly. And I will see you all on the next one. Take care, my friend. Salute.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, We'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high